We want to solve the equations shown here. So the first one is x squared is equal to negative 4, and there's no solution. So we can't really go anywhere with that one. And then here we've got x squared plus 3x plus 9. So let's try using the quadratic formula here. So we'll have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared. Take away 4 times a times c, all divided by 2a. So that's going to be negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 27 over 2. So we have no solution. Now what we could have done in this first one, instead of just writing no solution to start with, is I could have said that x is plus or minus the square root of negative 4, and then written no solution. Now we're going to allow I to be equal to negative 1 and see if we can get a solution in terms of I. So for the first one, I don't know why OneNote started. So what do we have? So we've got x is going to be plus or minus the square root of negative 1 times 4. Now we can use our surds on this and say that's plus or minus the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 4. So that would give us plus or minus 2i. Square root of 4 being 2 and the square root of negative 1 being I. So we're able to get a solution in terms of I if we make this assumption. Let's come over to this one and see what happens. So I've got x is negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 1, square root of 27, which I can write as root 9 root 3, all over 2. So that's going to be negative 3 plus or minus 3 root 3 I divided by 2. So once again we get a solution in terms of I.